Happy Wellness Wednesday, Facebook world. I am hopping in from my kitchen today, and I'm going to talk to you about bone broth and why we drink it, why I make it, and how I make it even. So you'll get to see a glimpse into how I make some bone broth. I'm getting some started here. So bone broth, I know it sounds crazy, and people always make fun of the name every time we say bone broth, but it's actually an ancient, it's an ancient dish. It's something that people have been using for centuries, making their own homemade bone broth. Now today when I was grocery shopping, I saw that the grocery store where I go to is starting to carry organic bone broth now. Which is awesome that more people are thinking about using this, but I still wouldn't trust it. You can make bone broth on your own. It is super inexpensive, and it is one of the best things that you can do for your family. Okay, so I've been making bone broth for a couple of years now. I want to make it more regularly and include it in our diet a little bit more. But last winter, David was struggling with a really bad cold, and things were just not feeling good inside. And I had made some bone broth and served it up to him. And he says that immediately he started feeling better. And the next day he woke up and was good to go. And he attributed it to the beef bone broth that I had just made. So think about it. When you have been sick all your life, what do people go for? Chicken noodle soup, right? Okay, we go and we pop open a can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup, which is not good for you. Okay, but the practice of chicken noodle soup came from this bone broth concept that people have been using for centuries. There is something to this broth deal made from the bones of really high quality chicken or beef that has a healing effect on us. So you can Google and watch all kinds of things about all the benefits of bone broth. I'm not going to go into a lot of it, except to tell you that it increases and builds up your immune system. If you want your immune system to be stronger, you need to be drinking bone broth on a regular basis. It helps to heal your gut of any digestive issues, and I know that our culture is just screaming out with tons of digestive issues. Joints and inflammation are improved when you start drinking bone broth regularly. And again, so many people are dealing with inflammation and joint trouble, and bone broth can help with that. It can help detoxify your system and get a lot of the bad stuff out of your liver and your kidneys and your cells. It can make your skin, help to make your skin look beautiful, and it also has some really neat effects for the brain and the neurological system. So bone broth is an all-around amazing tonic, if you will, that we all need to be drinking. So, and eating, whatever, incorporating it into our diet. So then why does it work? Well, you can't just go get bones of just any old chicken or cow. That really needs to be high quality. So we get a quarter of a beef a year from a local farmer, and it's a grass-fed, no antibiotic, no hormones added beef. And they give us a huge bag of all the bones. And I love that God doesn't waste anything, but has so many nutrients, even in the bones of these animals, that we can use. So those bones supply minerals. And when you start ingesting high quality bone broth, you are infusing your body with minerals, all kinds of minerals that it desperately needs. The collagen from the bones and from that beef or that chicken is so good for your skin and for your gut. There's gelatin that is very healing. It's a good fat to have for our digestive system and for our brain. So many good things come from this bone broth. Okay, so I'm going to show you the start of how I make mine. And let me just tell you, I'm not an exact kind of a kitchen person. So if you're looking for exact recipes, you can Google it and look it up online, but I'll show you what I do. Anybody can do this, guys. It is so super simple and super cheap and so soothing and good for you. So let's come over here and let me turn this around, see if I can do that. Okay, So I have a crock pot started right here with my meat. This is some beef that I got out of my freezer today. I think it's several neck bones since it has high quality meat. Again, needs to be grass fed, no antibiotic, no hormones added. I also will sometimes get an entire chicken, an organic chicken, and with no antibiotics, no hormones. I will cook the whole thing, debone it, use the meat, and then put the entire carcass with all the bones into my crock pot to make chicken bone broth. So I have my high quality meat. Then you can throw in vegetable scraps. So I've got some onions in here, some organic carrots, and the last of the tomatoes from our garden. You could also throw in some celery, any type of root vegetable or potatoes, things that are going to be rich in nutrients. Okay, then I fill the whole crock pot up with filtered water. So this is going to be quarts and quarts. Right now I'm just going to do this 1 quart of water. And I would fill it up all the way to the top of the crock pot. Now here's the secret ingredient. Apple cider vinegar, and this is organic apple cider vinegar. I will do 1 to 2 tablespoons of this that I will end up pouring in there, and the benefit is that it pulls out the minerals from the marrow of the bone. Think about our bone marrow. What's in our bone marrow? That's where our immune system is housed, in the marrow of the bone. So when we pull that out of these high quality meats, we get to ingest it and bring all that goodness into our body. Okay, so the apple cider vinegar is your secret sauce right there. I also put in some mineral salt, some pepper, some garlic, and then I'm going to put the lid on it and let it simmer for 48 hours in the crock pot. I'm going to put it on low for 48 hours. It's going to get deep and rich, this golden color, and I forgot to pull some of my finished product out. I'll show a picture of it later. And then at the very, very end, I'm going to add some essential oils for spices. I've got rosemary, I've got thyme, I've got black pepper. I'll put those in at the end because if they are heated, they will lose therapeutic properties. So I put the oils in at the end. I cook it on low in my crock pot for at least 48 hours. I stir it occasionally. Your house will smell so good. And by the time that 48 hours is over, you have a rich, dark, golden broth full of minerals. So then I just strain it and I put the excess in glass jars and put it in my refrigerator. Or you could put it in freezer bags and put it in your freezer. We actually just drink it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We were dealing with some colds over the weekend, and in addition to our oils and things that we're using for our immune system, we were ingesting beef broth like crazy, and we got over the colds really, really quickly. I cook with them, so the other night we pulled out some canned green beans from our garden, and I used homemade broth to go with it, or as a base for soup. It is so easy, but the nutrition that it gives you and the support that it gives your body is just a must for anyone. There are some that have said that they have gotten rid of food allergies and major digestive issues and inflammation issues from making and using bone broth. So I hope this is helpful. You can shoot me your questions in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. But bone broth is something that we love, and I love making it for my family, and we're gonna be making a batch today. So hope this has been a helpful Wellness Wednesday. Show me your pictures of your bone broth when you start to make it. Google it, research it some more, but you're gonna love it. Okay, be well. Bye guys.